You are now listening to
Ombudsman Radio.
Hello everyone and welcome to another amazing episode of the Service Hour. I'm your host as always. My name is Mati Fati and I'm not alone. I will be co-hosting with the delectable Jem Jem. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, I know that you guys had an amazing and a swell time with us this same time last week where we spoke about the AEDC, and I hope that you've been able to, forward your complaints to the Public Complaints Commission if you have any grievances against the AEDC, right, Jem?
Yes, and other distribution companies as well.
Yes. So today we have come with another one. We are going to be talking about
something very interesting.
Very, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be the aviation industry
in Nigeria.
Yeah, in Nigeria. I know you're wondering, what's all this big English for? What's the aviation industry? Jem, please tell them.
Okay, so basically we're going to be looking at today, the advent of aviation industry in Nigeria, the aviation sector, how it came about, where it was coming from, where it is now, and expectations and where we hope it should be, and challenges and stuff like that, basically.
Yeah. So firstly, for this episode, we're going to be starting with what is the job or the function of the aviation industry? What do people really use it for? The aviation industry in basic terms is simply a commercial company that just transports people all around the globe easily using a plane. That's just it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's basically like a conglomerate of different airlines, different companies, and then they all come together to form the aviation industry. So basically, airways or airlines in Nigeria started from the colonial times, where the colonial masters had to commit between Nigeria and Europe. So we had the BOAC, British Airways Corporation, and that was how they were moving, and it was just Lagos and Kano that were
major
used.
cities,
yes.
Yeah.
And then after colonial era came the Nigerian Airways. Yes, and then they partnered with the British Airways, and they were responsible for moving domestic passengers as well as international passengers to and from Nigeria across all international borders. Yes.
Yeah. That's amazing. Just so amazing how it came about. Me, particularly, I'm grateful for the existence of the aviation industry because it just made commuting more easier.
Yeah. It's I've experienced moving by road and by other forms of transport as well.
Yeah.
And personally, I just feel like airplanes is just so convenient.
Who wouldn't say that? Say that?
I don't know. Some people just feel like maybe road transport gives you a certain connection with your environment.
I beg. I don't want to be connected.
But you see that airways there. Okay, let's take for example, right? Commuting between Lagos and Abuja. It's crazy. Since I've known it has always been crazy. I've gone to Lagos as a child, a teenager and all, and it has always been crazy. Imagine there was no airplane that can just, in less than an hour, you're in Lagos from Abuja.
Yeah.
And basically by road, it takes like 9 hours.
It does.
And then the road is
you're just going to be so frustrated, coupled with the people that you meet on the road that they are not so okay, that want to stress you. So they'll now bring suya through your window. Bye now. And rub your mouth.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Basically, airlines have come together to make life easy, to make transporting not just human beings but goods as well very, very easy. Yes, I think they've contributed to deliveries as well. Now we can send things.
Yeah, and I feel that's a very smart initiative. Very, very. I feel like for business owners, sorry to cut you short, you can send your goods, whatever, from here over to that place.
Anywhere. You just need to have your fee.
Now.
That's all.
So people complain about the cost of using the airwaves is quite more pricey than using, but you would love to pay for comfort, isn't it?
Yes, and then obviously it's not an easy job to maintain the airplane. Yes. Then to train the pilots, I know for a fact that the pilots go through very rigorous trainings, both locally and internationally, and they have to do this routinely. Like it's not just
once and that's it.
They do it, I think,
continuously.
Maybe 2-3 years thing.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Just because you're a pilot or you've been a pilot for 2-3 years doesn't mean you're okay to fly for 10 years. You have to keep going to refresh. So all this costs money because most times the airlines have to pay for the training of their pilots. So all this costs money. So when you look at, and then the currency, just commuting from or being able to, if you're looking at international flights for now, being able to park or to, land in an international airway, it costs money.
Pay for it,
So all this all comes together to, arrive at a very pricey, so to speak, pricey
rate.
For the cost of moving things.
So now you know why it's quite pricey, and you're paying for comfort. If you have the money, why not? You're not just going to keep saving and saving and saving. You need to pay for comfort as well, because what does it take you? Why would you be working for that money and you would not want to?
Exactly.
If you can afford it, though, don't go. Why not? If you can afford it, get
why
it.
Not?
Yeah.
So for my part, I think the Nigerian sector has seen some decline. Yes, okay, I was telling you how initially we had Nigerian Airways. And then after some misappropriation of funds, inefficiencies, inadequacies, they had to bring it down. And then the aviation industry, basically, it was privatized. And then we had other private businessmen coming into play. And we had the advent of some private airline companies like Arik, Dana Air, Aero Contractors, Asman Air, Max Air, lots. And
Air Peace as well.
Air Peace.
How can you not name
Air Peace? So we have lots of people, and more are coming in every day. Like people are buying into this whole Nigerian air sector every day. So there's been some challenges. Yes, so
there's no successful industry that will not come with its own dose of challenges.
Exactly. So some challenges have plagued the Nigerian air sector. Yes. And basically, I think for me, one of the challenges they've had is high cost of operation. There's really a high level of operation in the Nigerian sector. They're maintaining the airplanes too,
servicing, changing parts when the need arises, and then the airplane uses fuel as well.
Yes, and
so many people do not know that, but it uses. You learned that here.
Yes, they do, and it's quite pricey. As in, all this can be very daunting to the businessmen in the air.
Because they have to make back their money.
Of course, they have to break even at the end of the day. And also, infrastructure. There's this demand to maintain the infrastructures in Nigerian airports, at least to have it,
to a certain standard.
And all this costs money. And I think the inability to have all the necessary infrastructures put in place are one of the challenges that the Nigerian air sector has faced.
For me, I would say that the technical factor involved is another big challenge, like I stated earlier, because it all boils down to the operational cost, and it's just a lot. So that's it.
And then there's also the cost of training and retraining, not just the pilots now, the crew members, servicing of the plane. I think they do it, there's a systemic way that they do about it. So all of this just boils down together to, pose a certain level of challenge. And then something very important, the naira, the currency.
It fluctuates.
Yes.
And that affects
because most of these transactions are carried out not in naira. Like the maintaining, purchasing of spare parts and all of that.
You don't do that over here.
The training and retraining, most of them are not done in Nigeria, right? So the fluctuation of the naira can also affect the way they charge, the way the whole operational costs, and then it's a big challenge for the air sector, really. I noticed there was a surge in the price of airlines, in the price of tickets.
Recently?
Yes. Some months back. And it was easily affordable before. I think 2021, right? The price of flying from Abuja to Lagos was like 30,000.
But now it's way above that.
Yeah, it's like times 4 now.
Okay.
It's unbelievable, but that it is. And then I think this high cost has reduced certain patronage. Some people are like, you know what?
Yes. They just result
yeah, I like my comfort.
Let me take God is good.
Where is
God
the money?
is good,
Do you guys?
boss.
And then yes, and all these other transport companies, these road transport companies have come up with very good and air-conditioned buses too.
Yes.
That by the time you look at it and you do your plus and minus,
you say, I beg.
to hell with, let me manage this comfort that my pockets can afford.
Some
me.
will resort to like paying for 2 seats.
Yes,
just so they can
to
be
comfortable. Yes. Yes, that's true, really. And then we also need to look at how these challenges of the air sector has affected end users.
Yeah.
Yes.
But firstly, I would say that for the issue of some challenges that the aviation industry have gone through can be limited with we have so many airlines operating in Nigeria here that make up the aviation industry. So if they can come together, put money together, and like, okay, let's just set up a training academy here in Nigeria, so we don't have to be, I don't know if there's any
training school. We have a training school in Nigeria. Yes, aviation in Kaduna State.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So I think they should put in money, because you have to put in money to get what you want.
But
to make it standard.
But you know how it always is with Nigeria, right? If I come to you with my certificate from ABU, which I will hold proudly anywhere, and somebody comes with their certificate from University of Cambridge, who will you pick?
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
But then I would say that there was a time that medical students come from India to come and get educated in Nigeria. There was a time that, so we can always do those things for ourselves.
Basically, the whole thing, we need a systemic overhaul in Nigeria,
and
right?
And then sensitization. We need to watch our brain.
We need to reorient ourselves.
Why do we think that others are better than us because they don't come from our roots?
We first need to have this training facilities standard first
that's it. Yes.
So it's not just about going there. I would say for a fact, because aviation school in Canada was quite close to Ahmad Bello University.
Okay.
And I would say for a fact that they are doing a good job. But then I can't really compare, because I'm not an expert, so I can't really compare with their peers outside the country. But I would say they're doing it. You see them looking so sparkly in their black and white uniform.
You were one of them.
There was a point I was like, why did I not think of studying this? Yes, so it's very interesting. Sometimes they fly over our airspace, and then we are always very like, oh, these are students flying. So but like I said, we need to make sure that there's a standard on ground.
And we are meeting up to that standard.
Do you know that, talking about this, there are some persons that, we have some pilots, expatriates, like some pilots from other countries who are working in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Do you know, for some persons, they prefer to hire
those ones than a Nigerian,
because they believe that they have been properly trained, or they have a very vast experience.
You have a point.
So, like I said, right, there's a whole systemic overhaul that is needed in Nigeria, and it's not just, in order to achieve everything, we just need to touch there are so many areas that need to be touched, basically.
That's true. Yeah, so we've spoken about the challenges encountered by the aviation industry. We'll be able to touch one or two. If you know that there's still more that we haven't said, you can let us know in the comments. And we're just going to straightly dive into the challenges encountered by end users, people who use the aviation industry, people who use airplanes rather. So we're just going to let's feel their pulse as well. Let's understand what they go through on their part. So Miss Jem, you're gonna help us with that.
More.
Long.
As in, it's deep. Okay, so lately, I think we've had series of complaints from the users of airplanes, and they've complained that there's been flight delay, flight cancellations, so many things, loss of luggages, damaged luggages,
and refusal to refund. They do that a lot. I'm not the one that says you should cancel, so give me my money back.
I feel like the regulatory bodies that regulate the aviation sector in Nigeria need to do something.
They need to do more.
It's not just about you cancel my flight, refund me. There was something that I have missed. I need to be compensated for that.
True.
It's not just
without prior notice.
Be limited. Yes,
you just come and say, "Oh, we can't fly."
I've witnessed someone complain once that she had an international flight to meet up in Lagos, and she was to travel from Abuja to Lagos. Now, the way she did it was, okay, she had calculated I would leave, say, by 5, I would get to Lagos by 6, and then board for my international flight
She
by
has
7.
made her plans.
But do you know the flight to to Lagos was cancelled from Abuja, and she was stranded. And automatically, she missed her boarding time for her international flight.
And that, they've cost her
So she has
much.
to go and make money, pay to have a flight rescheduled. Who is going to pay for that? I'll tell you that
fault,
the airlines will not compensate. Do you understand? They don't, apart from the fact that they don't have due communication with their passengers, like, okay, so maybe for technical reasons or for weather reasons, but whatever, I feel like it shouldn't just stop at these passengers being compensated for their loss or being refunded, but they should also be compensated.
I also feel like the aviation industry, they need to be more, like, they need to synergize more.
Exactly.
Because if you're canceling your flight, there should be another airline that is going. So you can
is on
just
ground to help you. Like, okay, sorry, I have a technical challenge.
You are going. Can this passenger from our airline join you? Do you know there should be synergy?
As much as the Nigerian the airlines have come to our life to help us, right? But it's so sad that you cannot have a program, say, in Lagos in the next 2 hours, and you say you just want to, just a 1 hour flight, and so I can just book my flight
just 1 minute before.
Look, okay, I don't want to mention names, but
we are tempted.
Some airlines have
Oh my God.
delayed people for days.
Really?
I'm telling you. And
That's
some,
so
I
sad.
personally have experienced 24-hour delay.
What?
I was supposed to have a 7 a.m. flight, and then I got a message that it has been shifted to 10, it has been shifted to 12, like that. I ended up leaving 12 a.m.
Are you
of
serious?
the following day. No, it's crazy.
It is.
And I feel it's because these people are not being binded by law to make, it's not just refund, but compensate. If I sue you for emotional damage and it's getting to tunes of millions,
Yeah,
you would think twice.
Correct. Yes,
You would think twice. And you know, some of these things they do also is overbooking.
They know they cannot take that amount, but they don't want you to go to another
and
airline.
then you get to your check-in point, and they just tell you,
it's
sorry,
full. You can join the next
has
one.
been closed. Away.
So
basically these are the challenges that the end users face, right? And then this can be so daunting for the users and might push them to react in some type of way. But
they might even cause things at the
I'm sure you've seen videos where some airline ticketer was manhandled because
and then some of those flight attendants, maybe those ones that are on ground, they want to now be acting rude. Are you okay?
Yes.
I'm paying you on top of my money. You want to show me attitude?
They're trying to tell you that it's not their fault, and basically
you're not supposed to.
It's not their fault.
Even if it's not your fault, this is your customer. There's a way you relate to your customer that's already going through a lot caused by the company you are representing. So how can you tell me it's not your fault? That's your company.
And these customers, by the time they factor in all the things that they are going through, they
can escalate.
Imagine
now.
I have a job interview and I've missed it because you cancel my flight for
on
some
top
reason.
Of my money. Like that's the oh my
and
goodness.
Then I'm trying to tell you this is what I'm going through and you're speaking English for me.
I'll come on week for you.
So all these things I've seen videos where some people were engaged in a certain level of altercations that was quite high. But we are saying here that there's an alternative way of resolving these things.
Yeah. Instead of going over there to cause a scene, embarrass yourself, fight, you can simply come and lodge a peaceful and quiet complaint at the Public Complaints Commission. They're available in all of the 36 states of the Federation, or you can simply do it online if you have a smartphone. That's all you need. We have evolved so much technologically that you don't have to do things manually. If you don't want to, of course, you can just lodge your complaint online.
Yes. We have so many online platforms and persons that is at your ease.
Yeah, your disposal.
It's www.pcc.gov.ng.
That's the website.
Yes.
We're on Facebook, we're on
Twitter,
YouTube, Instagram, X. We're all on there. All you need to do is just, have data. Yeah.
And reach out to us. So, I have to say that last year, that's around July 2023, we by the time our former Chief Commissioner, Honorable Abimbola Yusuf, saw the rate at which complaints were coming in regarding airlines. He was like, nah, this is too much.
Yeah.
So he put up a systemic investigation to be carried out, and then some airlines were invited, and they had discussions on how we can resolve this. So it's not like we know that you people are going through, that we are all going through this, right? And then we are all working tirelessly to see how this can be mitigated. These
Imagine
challenges can be mitigated.
the generosity. You didn't come to us, but we are now extending a hand to help you, even though you didn't ask for it.
Exactly.
So what do you think we would do if you now come to ask for it? Immediately you lodge your complaint on any of our websites, on any of our social media handles. A staff is immediately assigned to handle your case. And then, we just give you so much. You don't have to pay for anything. That's another
it's
thing.
All
it's
free.
I
think this is one thing that most people don't understand.
Don't know. They miss out.
We don't charge for
not
resolving
a dime.
your complaints. Even if we help you to recover any fund, we are giving you 100%
of what you
refund.
recovered.
There's we're not charging you for any percentage. Please, no.
You're not paying for anything
at all.
Nothing. So we have to draw the curtain here on the service hour. I hope you had a swell time with us, because I did. I had fun and I learned one or two. I didn't know that the colonial masters brought about this airline stuff. So Miss Jem opened my eyes, and now I know. So thank you again for staying with us, for being committed to this program, and for agreeing with us to lodge a complaint to the Public Complaints Commission. We are working tirelessly to make sure that you get the worth of your money. Thank you again for staying with us. This is the Ombudsman Radio Public Complaints Commission. My name is Matsi Fati.
And I am Jem.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a pleasant day.